Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. Let me say this quickly if I can. Where I work now, my good students far outweigh my bad, outnumber them. Where I last taught at the university, things have been getting better since, let's say, since 2018, things have been improving and getting better. With regards to that, I want to also state this. I've enjoyed teaching more as years have gone by because the educational system here and the educational settings and atmospheres here have improved. When I first got to this country, especially in Bedouin areas, most of the students were rat bastard subhuman piece of shit cheaters. More of them than not were like this. They would do anything except study to get ahead. I mean anything. Some of them would resort to violence against other teachers. Fortunately, I was never a victim of that. I'd heard threats, but you know what? At the end of the day, I am black. And while they didn't know I was black, they figured out that I was not like these other Western teachers that they were, the blonde, blue-eyed ones they were thinking of. They felt that they could do something to them. They didn't feel that they could do this with me. They never swung on me. They did this to some others. Swung on an American, swung on a Canadian. Got their asses whooped too. But they ain't swing on me. By 2018, it started to improve. You know the deal. We went through 2019, face-to-face teaching. It could be bad, but we saw some improvement. Early in 2020, you all know about people having to go to school online, people having to, we had to as well. So COVID isolation started then. Guess what else happened? The students that were good began to keep in touch with each other. They became more unified than the rat bastard pieces of shit students. The rat bastard pieces of shit had to be unified in person. But the good students could now talk openly on social media and in these classrooms, electronic classrooms, group chats. And yes, I'm categorizing students based on how well they speak English because you're supposed to learn it in middle and high school. And if you came to my class with some basics after high school, I said, you got some basics, you tried. You came with nothing, then you cheated because you were supposed to pass English exams to get out of high school. So you cheated if you came to me with not a sentence of English. And I was teaching in university. It means you cheated. Fuck you. From the bottom of my black heart and from the depths of my black mind. Damn you, you piece of shit. Because now you're going to cheat in my class and I'm going to catch you. And you're going to do everything you can to get away with cheating after I caught your dumb ass. But you won't study. Because you're shit. This whole don't snitch that Arabs have, and they do have it, that went out the window. Good students were able to talk to each other at this point. They were able to talk to each other. They were able to communicate. Bad students could communicate in person if they could get to each other, but it wasn't as easy. When we finally were back in the classrooms looking at each other, the good students outnumbered the bad. And I remember because I finally met some of my students face to face, taught them day after day, and this is what happened. Rat bastard piece of shit student didn't belong there, cheated on the first quiz. I caught him, reported him. He would have got a 10 out of 10 if I didn't catch him. Second quiz, he cheated. I didn't catch him. Another student turned him in. He would have gotten a 10 out of 10, but another student turned him in. The other student was willing to write and sign an affidavit in English attesting to that, and he did. This kid, I'm sure he got a 0. No bullshit. Student came on Telegram, said to me, Professor Mind, why did I get a 0? And I said, because somebody reported you for cheating. First time I caught you, this time a student reported you. I didn't know about it. He tried to deny it, and I said, stop lying. You cheated. You cheated to get out of high school. How else did you get out of high school when you have to pass English exams? How did you get out of high school not knowing a damn thing in English? You're using Google Translate to communicate with me now because some of the things you're saying don't make sense. And you're not punctuating when you type it in Arabic. And you're typing it in slang instead of classical Arabic because you don't speak proper Arabic. Shows me what kind of student you are. You weren't supposed to be in university. Now your ticket got punched, dumbass. Get off my screen. Take this 0. Hold this L. And if I find out that they passed you anyway, that means you went and got somebody, some soldier or cop in your family, and I'm going to give your name and your family's name to a newspaper because I'm keeping proof that you cheated. Got a copy of the affidavit, photograph. What I'm telling you is that I could be tough now on the bad students because I got good students that are backing me up. And they know what I'm trying to do. They know I'm not just being a jerk. They know that this is for the students' benefit and that I'm not willing to let bad students hold up progress for the good ones. They know this. What you are facing in the mating market over there is something similar to what I started to face when I first got here. The bad maybe outnumber the good, maybe not. It doesn't matter. They have overpowered them and overwhelmed them in any case. Good students here used to think if the other students are so bad, it makes me look even better. But they wouldn't snitch. And they felt they couldn't because they were, in fact, in physical danger. So they would say, well, it's dangerous to really stand up against them, tell them to raise their standards. So you know what? I'll just go ahead and let them make me look better. What happened was that as they would begin to graduate, the cheaters and the honest and good students alike, the cheaters who had been pressured to help the good students who had been pressured by cheaters to help the cheaters cheat and would give them answers were now distrusted in the job market. They were competent. They didn't cheat. The cheaters who cheated and got full marks and were in hiring positions didn't trust them. Oh, yeah, you're good at this. You'll probably make me look bad. No. What you're facing is a scenario in which the bad women will threaten the good ones. But the good ones oftentimes started off their youth, started at their prime saying, well, it's dangerous. I don't want to have the fortitude to stand up to these women. So I'll just let them keep on being bad and make me look even better. I'll be this rare gem that men would be lucky to find, but very few men would ever find. Oh, what they were pretty much saying is, I'm not willing to compete for these dudes, even the good ones. Absolutely not. I mean, I'm competition for these 304s because I'm not a 304. I don't mean these men any harm, but I don't actually value them enough to make myself equally available so that they got a chance at finding me over these 304s. Then later, just like the good students here used to say that the cheaters were winning, the decent intentioned women over there are beginning to say hoes are winning when in fact it was just that the hoes were willing to compete. They thought that the hoes were going to make them look better, but they weren't willing to actually compete. They weren't available. So the hoes won by default. The difference is this. Here, good, honest students began to link up and band together. And when everything became face-to-face again, and you had these bad, rat bastard cheating students, they were not outnumbering anybody anymore, nor were they unified. They did not always know each other. And if they tried to go to the smallest kid with the glasses, intimidate him, all of them would get together and say, no, we studied. You're not going to get the same results as us unless you study like we did. Nobody here is giving you answers. And if you hurt one of us, all of us will hurt you. You will leave all of us alone, and none of us will ever leave you alone. Nigga. And when this kid cheated, and another student saw him, he ratted him out. And when I said in the group chat, one of the students has been reported for cheating, his student ID number ends in this, that, and the other. If you were that student, just know that you got a 0. Do not betray your privacy in this group chat. I did not say your name. The student spoke up and said, I didn't cheat. Dummy, I never gave your name. So then other students came forward and said, oh, that was him? Yeah, the nigga cheated. He was asking everybody. It was it. He was outnumbered. Everybody was willing to snitch. You're facing a scenario in which even after COVID, the good women, or the decent women, the decent intentioned women, because they did not value you enough to compete for you, to at least actually try to get your attention and I don't know, actually be a better and available option than the 304s, lost you. And now what you've got is decent, well-intentioned women alike. If they're single, they are right there with the former 304s and saying, I'm not getting any attention. Yeah, dummy. Did you ever actually go up to a guy? Especially when you were looking your best. No? Oh, well, fuck the shuck up. Hell, the 304s, at least they did that when they were looking for victims. That's what the difference is. So when I tell you what I'm about to tell you, you understand why. Don't listen to Myron's advice from Fresh and Fit when he tells you that the way to get even is to fornicate with as many of them as possible. No. Male chastity has spiritual and practical benefits. You cannot out-fornicate these 304s. It's not your fault. It's just not as available to you as it is to them. You can't out-fornicate them. So stop trying to do that. What you need to do is prepare yourself for isolation, romantically speaking, maritally speaking, while you're stuck in the West. Prep yourself for it. Then, after that, when you have finished making your situation such that you can leave the West, you leave it. You set yourself up in a life elsewhere, and then, after that, when you're stable enough, you look for wives in an environment in which there are good women, and they're not so rare. That's where you can best afford to be a good man. Got it? Because where you are right now, the good are not willing to overwhelm the bad, even if they outnumber them already. The hyenas, whether they're the majority or minority, they run the show because outdoors they are the majority. They're not just the loudest, they're the majority. Outdoors. Indoors, I don't know, but outdoor, yeah, they are. In the hair salons, they're the majority. Shira 7. Sprankle. Run stuff. Not individually, but women like her run the hair salons. Every man is useless to her. And she wants to tell other women that pretty much every man is useless to you too. Compete with these men in the job market to make as much money as you can in your own job. But if the man makes less money, if he makes as much money as you, he's no good. All she wants to do is eliminate dudes. That's it. Pretty much turn guys into nothing but shields and ATMs. Attack dogs and ATMs. That's it. Your job is to fight and die protecting her and give her your money. You're never good enough for anything you might actually enjoy in return. I know that mindset. She doesn't even have to come out and say that. I know that mindset. She is bought and sold like an item, but nobody ever owns her. Sprankle. With a stankle ass. And she telling women how to remain single. It's war. Now, these little rat bastard Bedouins here were in war to get everything out of life without studying for it and earning it. And eventually they got overwhelmed, and now they exist, but they just don't have the same steam that they used to. They're outnumbered. To the point that if they try to threaten my job where I am, the good students will overwhelm them. You don't have that benefit. It didn't change for the better for you. What did happen is that things became exposed. But you're not there yet. It's taken a lot longer for the decent and well-intentioned women to, en masse, gather the nerve to stand up to the bad one and say, look, if you're going to harm these men, we're going to harm you. You're not doing that. I wish that it was better for you. It's not your fault that it's not, gentlemen. But because it's not, you must understand what you must do. And you cannot take advice from people who tell you that they're not practicing Muslims and who the features have heard say they don't fast or pray, telling you to do the exact opposite of what's in their own religion. My religion. You can't afford that. Don't chase them down for the booty. Don't chase the butt. They'll win that. Especially living where you live in the West, they will definitely win. Because at the very least, they can always fall back on false accusations, and they will. I hope that this message has been a benefit. Thank you for listening. As always, black heart, black mind, black out, assalamu alaikum, and black heterosexual, non-select male power just because they don't like it. Black patriarchy until extinction of Judgment Day. And keep flying with us here on Jet Black Airways, where jet black is also a verb. Keep jetting black with us until the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender, justice, forever.